Today I am going to explain about transaction support in SQL. SQL already we know is structured query language. Now we are going to see about how it is going to support for transaction operations. So there is in a single SQL statement always considered to be an atomic statement. If you take any statement in SQL, it may be a retrieval operation, or it may be a insertion, deletion, modification, any operation, that should be an atomic. Either the statement completes the execution without error, or it fails and leaves the database unchanged. That is the first thing. And that with SQL there is no explicit begin transaction statement and end transaction statement, which is that is a thing. The next one is each transaction must have a either commit or rollback to indicate the end of the statement. So characteristics specified by a set transaction statement in SQL. In SQL, the set transaction statement will be there. That in that we are having that access modes. Already we know the access mode may be read only or it may be read write. So in default, the transaction mode access mode will be read write mode unless the isolation level read uncommitted is specified. In suppose read uncommitted is specified means it will be in the read only mode. Then diagnostic size should be size is n, that will be specified with the integer value n, indicating the number of conditions that can be held simultaneously in the diagnostic area what we are using. Then isolation level, that should be specified with where isolation can be maybe uncommitted, read committed, repeatable read, or serializable. The default thing is that isolation is serializable, because in the serializable schedule only we are going to get the correct result. Okay. So the potential problems with the lower isolation levels are, there are three problems: dirty read, non-repeatable read, and phantoms. First we dirty read. So dirty read means already we have seen reading a value that was written by a transaction that failed. That is a thing that already we have seen with example. Non-repeatable read means allowing another transaction to write a new value between multiple reads of one transaction. That is because of that transaction confuses, it has to read that old value or new value. Phantoms, so new row inserted after another transaction accessing that row was started. So the record that did not exist when T1 started is called phantom records. That means when we are suppose we want to retrieve the details of the students having this CGPA above 8. Okay, so we are reading the details of the students at the time that some other new student information is uploaded in the database means, so that will be when we are reading the value we won't get that value which is not available in the old value. It will that only the new value will be available. That is called as that value which is not available. No, that old, suppose previously there will be some 100 students will be having that one. Then after that in between transaction operation now there will be 101. Then that phantom record means the value 100 will be missing over there in the transaction. That is called as phantom record. So here the possible violations based on isolation levels as defined in SQL. The isolation levels already we have seen. It may be a read uncommitted, read committed, repeatable read, or serializable. The type of violations we have seen: dirty read, non-repeatable read, and phantoms. Okay, so if it is read uncommitted means, so in all the three there is a violation. Okay, dirty read, non-repeatable read, phantoms, all they are going to affect. Read committed means only the dirty read is not committed and other things are violated, non-repeatable read and phantoms. Repeatable read means there is no dirty read, non-repeatable read, nothing, only phantoms are violated. Then serializable means no one will be violated, dirty read, non-repeatable read and phantoms, etc. So this is the thing about introduction to transaction support in SQL. So here we already we know that each and every transaction is atomic and no explicit begin and end transaction end statement in SQL operations. And we have seen that that is three different things in that specified with a set transaction, access mode, diagnostic size and isolation level. In the isolation level, when we are specifying, we should concentrate the three different potential problems with that: dirty read, non-repeatable read and phantoms. Okay, so that's all about transaction support in SQL.